Shout out to all my brothers out there that got the beard. They like to take care of it. They like to keep it groomed. Look, we got a Black Friday sale going on right now. $5 off our essential beard growth oil and another $3 off the balm. Right now, I'm telling you, it's going to have your beard soft and glistening with a brilliant shine all day. The link is at the top line of the description. And the best part is the shipping is free for a limited time only. See you soon. Let's go ahead and transition, man. Jay-Z, man. Nobody ever thought we seen the thing that happened with Diddy. You can, tie both in together if you can. But now Jay-Z, man, he's on the chopping block. A lot of people predicted it. We talked about it here on this platform. I didn't really think it was gonna happen though. But now Jay-Z is now being accused of essay of a 13-year-old. What's your take on the whole situation?
Unfortunate first.
Yeah.
And this is anecdotal. Jay-Z ain't do that shit now.
Exactly.
And Puffy's questionable, dog. That wasn't fair due diligence to raid Puffy crib like that, dog.
Right.
This is a difficult thing to unpack.
Yeah.
I think for the feds to get involved on a notion, it holds no merit, man. Nobody should peril because of success.
Right.
Association doesn't mean guilt. That's a maxim at law. These two men were part of the reason I love hip hop, man. To be able to cross over to markets like they did, I'm being very careful with my words here, guys. It destroyed why we fight in hip hop the way that we do. Because now you got to worry about how big you get. When we look at the body of work of Jay-Z, the person that he is, that's Michael Jordan, man. The philanthropic things he's done, his reasoning to be able to be transparent. When he dropped 444,
yeah,
that was a masterpiece, man.
Yep.
When it came to storytelling, there was nothing like it. He showed the ups and the downs, the situation with his wife. He pushed his wife to even transcend him in some ways. And now to discredit this man with some of the most heinous things, pedophilia, man. And this tag that all black men, have you noticed that sex and black men and the image of black men have been associated, like deviant sex?
Yes, sir.
That we are suffering from. Sex offenders.
Yep.
Look at R. Kelly, who was abused and marginalized, but he didn't get no sympathy for that. When Elvis Presley grew up in a marginalized home, poor, they didn't take that into consideration with him. When Hugh Hefner was legitimately doing what he was doing, he was a business genius. So with an R. Kelly, a Diddy, a Jay-Z, this supremacist system has caused us to envelop one another. We have the people attacking men on possibilities and accusations. What I've noticed that's interesting with Jay-Z, why didn't you file a criminal suit?
Right.
He broke a crime, right?
Right.
He committed a crime.
Hell yeah.
So why didn't you file the criminal suit in order to give substantiation to a civil one? Why do you start off with a civil suit? Isn't that a crime? Civil suits are ran differently.
Yeah.
Okay. It is more about settlement than actual proof.
Yep.
I definitely feel sorry for Diddy because they filed a criminal suit. Now, if Diddy did the similar things and the trafficking, which could result in a civil suit, even if he beats the criminal, how did Jay-Z go straight to criminal, to civil? So civil means money. It don't mean crime. Pedophilia is a criminal act.
Yep.
So his life could be taken away from him based on a civil suit. When are they going to file the criminal indictment? It hasn't even been filed.
Yeah.
And so now he has to defend himself. And I really respect Brother Jay, the statement he wrote, man.
Yes, sir.
I said, man, that's a man right there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even give Diddy an opportunity to do that. He gave his response from the jail.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to allow this foolishness and the constant onslaught and attack of black men based on accusations, man. Prove it.
Right.
Stop painting the image of some of our great leaders, man. Stop doing that shit. That shit ain't right.
Yeah.
And now it's also been rendered the gender. Look at the gender war between black men and women, bro.
Yep.
I mean, it's at the point of hate.
Yep.
So it's affecting us on a collective, like a collective scale, and it's desensitizing the connectivity through blackness, man, in which hip hop embodies. Now you're trying to defame hip hop and the whole genre.
That's a perfect transition to my next question, because the last couple of years or so, especially since we've done a podcast, we've seen a little bit of a litmus test, and in particular for black male individuals. Dr. Cosby, R. Kelly, Diddy, and now Jay-Z, where the media plants these seeds to publicly destroy an image. They plant the seed to publicly destroy image, and unfortunately, it seems like we as a people, we as a culture, are the ones watering, giving it sunlight, and nurturing this terrible seed to grow into what we see, which is absolute public annihilation of these people. We've seen Dr. Cosby go to jail at 80 years old. R. Kelly is sitting in jail right now because of a RICO trafficking charge that has not been proven, straight off of allegation and alleged rumors we've heard for years, but nothing proven. Diddy sitting in jail because of rumors the last 20 years. And now we got Jay-Z, and people are fueling this because of rumors. Why do we, and I'm not talking about I and you, but I'm talking about us as a collective, as a culture. Why do we have such a thirst and a lust to spearhead some of these terrible things that happen to prominent people in our culture, in your opinion?
It's a lack of value, our value systems. I mean, when you think about it on a whole, Sam, you guys are asking some deep shit. When you think about it on a whole, the value of blackness, right? Think about everything that we do, from the way that we get married, the way that we dress. This was made a critical point about hip hop. The way that we dressed, the way that we ate or eat today, what we actually value comes from the plantation, bro.
Damn. Damn.
We never had a cultural center that was autonomous to this country because we had no cultural base. I mean, we come from a place where there were many different cultures that were amalgamated, and some were natural enemies in Africa, right?
That's a fact.
We were brought here, man, to intermingle with each other under the behest of commercialism. We were chattel. We were stock. So you would have the Dahomey, who might have differences with the Asante, that were forced to come together and cohabitate. Even our history, when it comes to our children, our forefathers, man, there were levels of incest during the slavery period. Because the byproduct was just put a man and woman together, they would have children, they would rear those children to be to adulthood, or they're able to operate in slavery, and then they would be forced to sleep with each other in order to create more people. The man would be detached from the woman that he was close to, for studying, fighting other males, cockfighting, and and exclusively for birthing. And this is why we have a breakdown of symmetry in the family home. We have issues with putting family first for assimilation. We'll work hard to own a job, and that's why I respect. I have such a relationship with you guys, man, because y'all made a job out of what you love to do.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully you get it to the point that it's full capacity. We got to catch up. That you ain't got to ask somebody who oppresses you, could you pay me a wage?
Right.
This is where I love, and I know people don't like Dame too much right now, but I'm a boss.
Yes, sir.
I don't ask you to get paid. I pay myself first. I wish more participants in the music industry would operate as bosses. Because this is why we have the lack of the value system, man. Because we too busy asking for handouts and not making a way, not transcending where people had to suffer in order for you to do better. And I think we're on the right trajectory to progression and productivity. I think the issue is now that we're allowing through ignorance and selfishness the separation of the Black family. And how important is it is. Like, music is ours. That's our shit, man. From pop to rock to country, that's our shit. Jazz is our shit. And that was one of the few things that we can create a common bond with, regardless of our differences. Even with those that were outside of our ethnic paradigm, music brought everybody together, man. So now it's no longer the storytelling. It's not about the experience no more, man. And the ones that really amplify that, they getting the corporate flux put on them. They're not able to exemplify or bring the world to alert the world to our experience. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you see the ending of this whole thing be? Because we seen the ending with with Diddy he's in jail. They won't let him out. Do you see Jay-Z, this outcome being just a little bit different? Or do you see an influx of people now beginning to come out now and start accusing them? Because when the numbers get big, the sponsors start leaving. The image starts being destroyed. So, if you could make a prediction, where do you see this going?
Well, Diddy, he's got some problems.
Yeah.
Because they're incarcerating him.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to fight from within.
Yeah.
You got limited access. Your attorney has a lot of stress. It's going to be tough for him. I don't think it's going to work out too well. And I got my fingers crossed, man. But
agreed.
The way the media formulated, the stuff with Cassie, that video that came out with Cassie.
Yeah.
That was an isolated incident, and he was definitely wrong.
For sure.
He needs to be punished for that. But then the media connected it to some type of sex trafficking shit.
Yeah.
See, who was trafficked? See,
right.
Nobody who was trafficked is saying anything. So now you lock them up. And it's like, wait a minute, man, that had nothing to do with that. That's hearsay. So he's I don't know what did he? I think it's up in the air. I think with Jay-Z, because this is going to be sad, but Diddy set a precedent and Jay-Z saw it.
Yeah.
And when he came out, it was like within 24 hours. Nope. No. Jay-Z was on it. And Jay-Z spared no expense with his representation.
Yeah.
And
Let me
he
ask
made
you-
it abundantly clear.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fight it all the way. And you're
Yeah.
not gonna come raining shit. This is
Yeah.
his demeanor, unfortunately, at the expense of Diddy. And then this is what Jay-Z did, which I thought was so wise. Because I believe they're claiming, and I'm gonna say allegedly for my own protection, that Diddy called him or spoke with him through the jail, which I know Diddy is not an idiot to go and call Jay-Z on a recorded line.
Right.
More dumb shit. Because we come from the same place he come from.
Right.
Do that. More propaganda. But this is what made Jay-Z brilliant. He said, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't call me no more. I'm not messing with you. Now, people may think, because I'm hearing it in the media, that he turned his back on Diddy. No.
Yeah.
He know the game.
Oh yeah.
He not done. And he actually trying to help Diddy. Because if I get caught up in it, you out of here. You in. I'm not. So I'm gonna let you fight, and I'm gonna fight this fight. So I think Jay-Z is in a prime position to defend this. Then I think when they talk to the alleged assailant, who is now an adult, she says she has autism.
Wow.
Okay. So I think Jay-Z is in a great position, to be honest.
Absolutely.
You took the question right out of my mouth though when I was asking, because he disassociated himself with Diddy, and we all know good goddamn well they was boys.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
homies,
cut
man.
that out. They
Yeah.
bored. But that was a play that was a reason behind him doing all that.
Bro, if me and you in the car, we riding, we dirty, but you guys are much older than me. I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna take the hit because I need you out here more than I need you in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit still
Yes, sir.
because I can handle it better. You an OG. I don't want you to deal with that shit. I got you. Just handle your business and we'll be good when I get out of here.
Yeah.
If I don't get out of here, you know what you gotta do with my people.
Yeah.
So when you know it, man. Jay is Jay, man. When has Jay ever switched up? I mean, just because Jay has transcended where he was, and because he's honorable about it, he's an honorable man and he respects honor and loyalty over everything. Now people want to say he changed. That's clown shit. He bet that man a billionaire, man. Twice.
Yeah.
He got more responsibility on his legacy than anything else. He's the prime example of change. So he's willing to take the hit. But he has the foresight to know, man, I can't affect the whole. He said, man, Diddy, I love you, man. I'm praying for you, man. But I ain't gonna let them play both of us, man. I'm gonna keep fighting for everybody that got to see how you supposed to do this shit.
Yeah.
There's young people watching us, man. I got to show how you got to handle it. So, hey, man, free Jay. Free Diddy. I'm gonna stand on it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand on business with that.
For sure. Us
And
too.
look deeper than what it is.
My last question about the whole Jay-Z thing would be I asked Ham at this question, and is Jay-Z, in your opinion, as close to a modern day revolutionary as you could be? What would you say? As you can be in this time. It can't be Fred Hampton. We know that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I gotta take that in. How old are you guys now?
I'm 39.
I'm 41, man.
My G. Y'all got people calling y'all old now. That's what's up.
Shit crazy, right?
Club, baby.
It's crazy.
Man, that was absolutely. And then you said the right one, Fred Hampton.
Right.
You know him. He's the king here in Chicago, man. Fred was doing what he was doing at 21.
Right.
Man, they laid him out. The man was 21 years old talking about power to the people. He wasn't playing the race game. Power to the people, man. Yeah, Jay-Z is a revolutionary, man. He changed the perception of hip hop. That man was given akin to, and this is not a false equivalency. I'm not validating through white folks at all. But he was the Frank Sinatra of hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
he was the Don. Still is, really. Who's done it? He personifies manhood and growth and development. He's an inspiration.
Yeah.
He went, from the, the 10 packs in Marcy to the White House.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, that don't come around often. And he did it like a real G, because anybody associated with Jay ate good. Look at Memphis, man.
Yeah.
Like anybody that was loyal to him, he took care of, man. Sometimes wrongly accused of not taking care. But he was on that, you know. So hell yeah, man. Jay is not gonna be repeated. You ain't gonna make another hole.
I arrived on the day Fred Hampton died.
Yeah.
Niggas just multiplied. He said it himself.
Come on, man.
You said it himself.
Oh, God, gonna try to be slick and say Fred Hampton. No one here OG or hip hop. Thinking you.
We definitely appreciate you, man. I don't know if you got any more questions.
I'm good to go.
I got one more question for you, man, because we started this conversation of talking about hip hop. You said some of our OGs and ones before us would have did it for 3 million. Now they doing it for 50,000, and now they doing it for 50,000 views. They don't even give a damn about the money anymore. They simply just care about the attention. And when we talk about what we do right now, we've seen such a shift and such a change in what even we do as far as even the interview game. And this is why we appreciate you and having real conversations, because they're too few and far in between. Y'all both correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember the last impactful interview we've successfully saw, because everybody wants to be this. No one wants to kind of counteract and give their story. They want to be on the microphone controlling their narrative, and they don't even know how to fucking talk. So can you talk about that shift and why you think that game, that aspect of the culture has changed when we have people who interview compared to people who conduct the interviews, and while it's all just mixed up and everybody's just out for me and mine?
Oh yeah, man, that's diplomacy. That's when old boy got his hand up your back.
Yeah.
And his eyes on your movements.
Yeah.
Because they can't really talk, because they industry, they industry plants. So they got to promote the industry. They're not about self. They don't have the character or the ability. I mean, a move to the transition, and when it transitioned was when, labels lost the money. And so many people were so quick to get signed, and artists were so quick to create a subsidiary. And we just lost where it was, being independent. Man, when I was in the industry, man, a close family member, he's like a close brother to me, man. Twister. Man, you would make money from Friday to about Wednesday, doing sets, underground sets, getting that cash. And that brother was around almost 15 years before he blew up. Wow. He was already established. So you do similar to what a Rockefeller did. You come in as a joint deal, but when they showed how to do it, the label said nah. And because the timing of it all, social media was shifting to such an influential vehicle that labels would only really sign artists that can show value through numbers. It was really the labels that pushed, show me your YouTube. Show me your spins digitally. In order to say, okay, this substantiates. And I think we did an interview about this.
Yeah.
We'll give you 360. But we got to take all production and all distribution, whether it's a concert, whether it's a mixtape, whether you take a picture as a poster to use it as promo, we want in on all of that.
Yep.
So the artist had no choice but to digitize and stream in order to get some type of distribution, so that when the music did come out on the 360 structure, they could make money on the purchase of the spins, the 25 cents, the dollar, the $2.99. They could make the money that they lost with the label, but they needed the label to match the distribution. That distribution would then push the digital sale because they could put their faces in front of media anywhere. So now that even desensitized the effectiveness of the publicists. The publicists couldn't substantiate an independent platform because the label owned so much of that production that the publicist would create. The artist goes to BET. The artists get paid publishing because the BET has sponsorship. The publicist can charge a certain amount of fee for the artist to be there because they big. But guess what happens? The label gets a piece of that. So now publicists can have a factor of worth in the industry where a publicist is required. Now the artist is trying to publish his or herself in order to substantiate for that loss. And that's when it started. The artists, instead of maintaining the independence, kind of got themselves in a catch-22 because the label started buying the streaming outlets and started having co-ownership in those streaming outlets. And even that money was taken. Wow. And the end game, because we don't deal with, we always talk about the causality, we don't look at the effect. Nobody comes to see them. Nobody buys merch because it's not a physical object. It was easier when it was a CD or an LP. It was a physical object that gives you tangible revenue. Now it's digital. And so this is where the Drake lawsuit comes from. You know, you could take, it was just supposed to be a battle, but not like us won a Grammy.
It's on its way.
It's going to get it.
Yeah, it's on its way.
Because hip hop is dead.
Yeah.
When it comes to market share.
Yeah.
Because their counterparts are getting 20 million a show. I mean, when you look at Miss Elish, her paycheck ain't no. What artist getting what she get paid? It's almost laughable. People like a Future, who was at one point sheer dominance,
right,
is a shadow of himself. How could an artist of that magnitude fall so far?
Yeah,
because there is no ability to maintain control of distribution. And now artists are going independent just to turn back around and sign to the label.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And why would you do that? But if you don't know business, why wouldn't you just distribute at your own recognizance?
Yeah.
Because the labels make sure they pushed out labels like Koch. Koch got pushed out for that sheer fact. Because they were the layman's distribution label. The artists could still retain most of their money and still go through Koch. Violator.
Yeah.
It was still those are gone intentionally. Yeah. Interesting enough, both of them had federal charges. I wonder how that happened. When payola is the bottom line with a major label and the radio stations. The artists have lost the inability to know how valuable radio stations still are. They just settle for digital distribution. You gotta use Ethernet. You gotta go back to radio. Artists aren't doing it enough. They're depending on the labels to give them a portion of money to have a tour through the radio, not knowing that they're going to lose it later in the 360. Why don't the independent artists just buy up your own commercial time and distribute your music through radio off commercial time? You don't need the label. But these artists aren't trained properly, bro. They're not educated in the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, they're employees and they're willful employees.
Yeah. Let's lose our independent steam as leverage to go get a deal when the leverage is the deal.
It is your independence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah. Now we definitely appreciate Dr. Albert Higgins, PhD, on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Too far in between, man.
Who you telling, bro?
Hope we haven't had a conversation like this in a couple years, probably. But I'm hope to have you back. It's been a while, right? It's been a minute, man.
Hell yeah, man. I ain't seen you in a
Time
while,
flies,
bro.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll be
Missed you, man.
Yeah. But nevertheless, let the people know where they can find you real quick, man. Please.
Absolutely, man. The on Spotify, the Alpha Mindset on Spotify.
Okay.
The Alpha Mindset on TikTok, the Alpha Mindset on Clubhouse, and the Alpha Mindset. Dr. Albert Higgins on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, bro, man. It's been an honor.
Yes,
We got about a little less than an hour in, and we needed it, man. Good vibrational food here. Hope you guys enjoy it. And bro, we appreciate you, man. Love you, man. Stay blessed.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Take it easy.